Shareplay. Shareplay. Shareplay.
I just realised that I was muted. Apologies for that. As I was just saying, though, my name is Ben B. I am your caster here this evening. It is just myself, no Mark tonight. But as you can hear in the background, we are going to be going straight into our first game over on Storm Point. On board with team number 3 to kick this one off. We're going to see where everybody is landing and what legends people are picking. What I'm going to be interested to see is which teams are going to be duoing and solo queuing or trio queuing this one up, because you are able to duo and trio queue in this lobby. You're able to play with your friends. Once you get up to the higher levels, though, of this, so once you get up to the champion and the sort of elite level in the MMR rankings, you are only able to duo queue. So gives a little bit of fairness, because it means actually people who are maybe down towards the bottom, who are still just challengers, your sort of, I guess, your bronze and your silver level players are able to trio queue, which makes it certainly a lot more interesting when you're getting full 3 stacks of lower level up against potentially solos at higher levels. We'll have to see if that comes into play. But we're going to look and see where this map is pulling. And it doesn't look like we're going to get a pull down towards the launchpad area. Meanwhile, Detached is already in an engagement. Axel going on through. Not able to get a hit with the ultimate. They're still just trying to search for these players. Their teammates have eventually arrived. As these people takes a lot of damage, and now the Axel swings around that corner. A huge amount of damage, just 20 left on that player on the roof. Detached is doing what they can to try and find, but unfortunately, these people is going to go down. We're staying on board with Detached just to see what this RE45 can do as they swing around this corner, but the victim surprising the player. So we're going to get back on board with Aleri, who's going to be able to get the revive onto these people. And we're now back to a full 3 stack on Team 12. Meanwhile, Team 18 are having a much more difficult time as Zozo goes down. We're just down to Tristan remaining. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to get up onto the roof. to pop that ultimate and get away, but it is not even going to have the opportunities to do that. Team number 18 are going to be out of this lobby, and now a third party comes in onto Team 12, and it's 19. Vagaleros, Don, and Daddy Ardy swinging around this corner. Already a knock by Daddy Ardy onto a Larry. One more coming on through. And now it is just up to Detached. The RE45 for Detached has been incredible so far. That knock might well just give them the opportunity to get away here, because by putting out that Axel ultimate, you're going to stop the push of anybody who may come into that. It's going to give you that time to get out of here whilst they have to do the revive, and Detached there with a really good play. That team, as predicted, not pushing away. Meanwhile, there is a fight happening. Russia, Apex. Lil Savage and Shovelhead up in an engagement against Team 12, Team 2, and Team 2 are out of this lobby as Lil Savage gets back on in. Eternal struggles and swaps down and out. Looking at this ring then, where we're pulling, it does look like there is a bit of poke battle happening at Lightning Rod area, as we can see, but it is very much long-range fighting. There are some kills on those death boxes on the floor, so they have picked up a few KP between them, at least one. Meanwhile, we are now going to be seeing Team 11 get into a fight. This is LD, Gaming Pebbles, Cap, and Flows. I believe I remember seeing Flows yesterday in the Solo Queue League. Don't remember seeing any of the other ones. Meanwhile, Sosa, MNK, Ponyboy, and Erasure is going to be on Team 7. Again, players that I do not recognize. So it's lovely seeing new teams in the lobby and players getting involved in the Solo Queue League. If you'd like to get involved yourself, CCE.gg. That's all you need to do. Head to that website, go sign up. You just need your Discord and your Apex profile. You can play on PC and on console. As a player drops down and does finally see that player, they get the knock. Erasure tries to do what they can with the hipfire hemlock. They weren't able to get too much damage. The R99 spray getting a little bit more to crack the shields at the very least. And now Gaming Pebbles does go on down. Team 11, unfortunately, I think are going to have to leave Gaming Pebbles, because the Gibraltar ultimate has fallen down, is now falling down on their head. I believe that is going to be Cap Corp's Gibraltar ultimate that is trying to stop the push, but as you can see from the shadows on the height and from the lovely observer highlights, the player has dropped in from the height now, and it is pretty much all she wrote for Cap. Flows is just going to have to queue on away and hope that they can get themselves back into it. Meanwhile, Team 6 and Team 4 are continuing this engagement by Spiders. Boreal goes on down. Just 5 HP left for Grim. Grim goes down, and now there's one player left. It's going to be the Milk Dud, who is eliminated from this lobby in 12th position. Team 6 falling just outside of that top 10 placement points. Meanwhile, Team 19 and Team 10, who are very split from each other. As we can see, Killers is here. Roderick is on the other side. And they have got the wingman, and what I'm hoping to see is we're going to be... Yesterday, if you missed it, make sure that you go back to the YouTube, go look at the VOD, because there were some unbelievable plays with the wingman coming out from a new player to the circuit in our final game of the night. That's all I'm going to say for now. And we might be seeing that player a little bit later, but do go over to the CCE UCX YouTube channel so that you can go see those VODs. All of those get uploaded after the stream goes live, and you want to be featuring yourself on there, so get yourself over to cce.gg to sign on up, as Rem has gone down, but they do drop from the sky, getting a knock onto Vagaleros. And then Axel, Daddy Ardy, unfortunately taken on down. Brilliant spray from the alternator of Roderick's. And is now going to queue on over there to be able to get the revive. And thankfully, due to the conduit, they're going to be healed on right back up. And we're going to see this continue to pull on down. Team 14 with that ring scan is going to show exactly where this ring is pulling over towards the launch pad area. It does look like it is just about, yeah, it's touching here. So it could well potentially pull towards here, or it might well go to where Team 14 are. We'll have to wait and see. Ring pulls have been an interesting one, that is for sure. Meanwhile, the solo of Team 3 is trying to find somewhere to revive. Little do they know that there are players around. You can see them just in front, and KQ has just about seen them in time. Unfortunately, another team is right here. And that is all she wrote for team number 3. 8 squads left remaining. As we can see, just up ahead of Genesee, Vape Smoke, and Fadeaway is the MNK Ponyboy. A little sneeze on. A little sneeze. Hopefully the microphone blocked that one out. If not, apologies for the sneeze. Gonna blame the hay fever. It is summer after all. As they can see, Erasure, MNK Ponyboy, and Sosa up on ahead, who seem to have moved around that corner for now. So it does look like they are going to they have moved on by. The thing is, they've got to be careful because there is another team coming on by, and that's going to be team number 12. These people, Detached and Larry, back into this thanks to Detached getting on out of there using that Axel Q. And they are ready for this next fight. These people getting aggressive on the lifeline. You've got a lifeline conduit. Basically means unlimited healing right now. Basically giving Detached absolute free range to push up and get aggressive. Which we've seen Detached in the solo queue league before. We know that that is something which they are more than capable of. Destroying the door, using that Hemlock. And now going to look to swing around that corner. But it looks like for now, actually, Team 4 have just fully bounced out of this. They didn't want the smoke. They're bouncing away. They're disappearing off the zone as Team 8 and Team 14 are right on top of each other. Russia Apex. Destroying the fences down below so they're going to be able to get inside of the building. Obviously, taking a little bit of damage thanks to the Watson fence, electrifying that door. And this is really well done here from Russia Apex to destroy the fences and allowing your team to get on in. They're queuing, trying to show if there's anybody nearby. Obviously, when you pop that queue out, you get a little bit of a notification as to where the players are. And it is going to be Team 14 who obviously are just above, and they've now been kidnapped. Brilliantly done there from Russia Apex, and now they swing up around the corner, but it's the Watson fences that are doing the job. Russia Apex and Lil Savage go down. 1 player left remaining, and Team 8 get taken down by some very happy fences. The Mythical Beast is extremely happy about that, based on the fact that they took a lot of damage, but now it does look like they have been third-partied. Team 7 are that team who have come on in. We obviously saw them a little bit earlier up by the command center. Opting to get out of there. I do have to say, this team on the inside are doing a wonderful job of holding this, using those Watson fences. And the Axel ultimate coming on through, but because they've got those reinforced windows, they aren't able to shoot on through. The Mozambique does good damage, but not good enough. We're just down to our Watson once again. What can you do with those fences? Not enough for now. Team 7 taking down Team 14 as Dion Bloom and is now in a fight with these people. Detached is your last remaining player. Detached is all the way down towards the south. As Team 1 are now getting a finish, exploiting the meta with the Bangalore. Jamstein picks up that kill onto a Larry. We're now down to 4 squads left remaining. A solo left of Detached. Everybody else a full squad. And this has been an aggressive game in game number 1. That is for sure, without a doubt. R301 now. Not really a meta gun for somebody trying to exploit it. But you don't need to be using a meta gun when you shoot as well as that. Jamstein closing it out with the devotion. Jamsteen is now going to push on up to look to try and get the finish, potentially. But actually, Obst ends up bouncing on back instead, as Exploiting the Meta is now the one trying to push up and get aggressive. Jamsteen takes a lot of damage. Bloom, who finished yesterday, I believe, in the top 3. It may have even been a second place positioning for Bloom, who had a wonderful day of it in the solo queue league, going away with a nice amount of money and will 100% be wanting to see that happen once again. As they're now going to push on up, get aggressive, and they're going to try and take away the door away from them by using that Wraith Q. They avoid all the damage, and they've managed to take down both Roderick and Killer as a player now jumps in from the sky. It's just Rem remaining. RLM doing what they can with the Hemlock. Sosa, though, actually ends up taking down Jamsteen. And it does look like a third party coming out from Team 7. A very well-timed one at that, as Exploiting the Meta is taken down by the R99 of Erasure. And we are now down to our final 3 squads. We have got a solo of Bloom Dion. A trio of team number 7. And of course, Team 12 with Detached on the Axle. It might well end up potentially coming a bit of a game of hide and seek right now. Which is a little bit of a rough one to close this one out. It's purely up to Team 7. I'm going to put highlights on so that we can see exactly where they are. At least where the players are trying to find them. Sosa with 4 kills right now. Also 4 kills to Erasure. I mean, has everybody got 4 on this team? Everyone has got 4 on this team. This is team play if I've ever seen it. Whilst this happens, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to eat a little bit of a Kit Kat. Why not? We can see now Detached sat in that building. And actually, ironically, if they used that altar portal and went back to that building, they would be able... They'd come across them. Because he's actually sat inside of the building. Bloom Dion, meanwhile, is going to be in the other building. They're trying to find them. This is just... They have no idea where everybody is. And I think they finally found someone. Have they? Nope, they haven't. Folks, this is enthralling gameplay. Believe you me. We are seeing top tier Apex right now. I think this probably calls. If there's ever a time that calls for it, we're going to go into our little admin cam. We're going to fly around a little bit. We're going to show you the map. Erasure, MK Ponyboy, and Sosa inside of this building. Erasure is now... They're trying to find someone. They're trying to go... They're putting down altar queues to maybe try and get the scans to see if anybody is there. But for now, Bloom Dion is doing a good job. And now it looks like they might well have figured out that somebody is in here. Surely. There it goes. And Bloom Dion does get eliminated. Detached is now your final player left remaining. Is going to know that they're the final player left remaining. And we're going to jump on board with Detached. Let's see if you can do something special here, Detached. As I finish off my coffee. And our first game of the day comes to a close. Comes to its epic conclusion. I'm trying to do what I can here, chat. Just double checking as well. Whilst I'm doing this, I can double check and see how everybody is doing in the stream. Let me know you're in here. I mean, this is They really have no idea where the team is. This is insane to see. They're like, okay, I think they finally figured out it's got to be inside of this building. Detached, your time has come. 1 versus 3. What can you do? Sosa instantly put down. Unfortunately, the final player comes around that corner, and we are going to be seeing Erasure, Ponyboy, and Sosa come away as your deserved champions there. Jamstein, Bloom, and Exploiting the Meta did get a nice amount of kills, 12 between them, but it's not going to match the 14 of that first place team. As we bounce on back over to my face. And we can have a little look at that the last match, just to show you how everything went. Hopefully this will update. There we go, straight away on the updating. What system they've got in place here at CCE. Make sure that you head over to cce.gg to sign yourself on up. Because we want you back in this. I want to be casting over you, that is for sure. Anyway, as you can see, Sosa, MK Ponyboy, and Erasure coming out as your champions, followed up by these people, Lari Detached, and then Exploiting the Meta, Jamstein, and Bloom. Your overall kills go to Jamstein in 3rd position with 6, and Bloom comes away as your damage leader with 2,300 damage overall in the standings. Obviously, there have been some games already happening a little bit earlier, as I believe that was... I'm going to have to double check, because I feel like this might be including yesterday's results as well. If it was, Lotus Nesu was the winner, I believe, of yesterday, with Keyboard Warrior doing a wonderful job of it as well. But I will double check and find out what's happening with this overall leaderboard, because I don't think there's been quite that many games thus far here this evening. Meanwhile, it does look like we are going to be getting another game happening pretty soon, which is good to see. Let me just load on in and make sure that I'm in here. And the voting is happening now, which is wonderful to see. Lovely stuff. Amazing. Well, I will be back in just a second. Make sure that you have called. I can see at the moment. Yes, I was muted. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Mistake on my behalf there. For some reason I'd muted it. Then we've got Intrepid is saying, do we have another Ben solo cast tonight? It is just myself here tonight. Unfortunately, Mark is not able to make it, unfortunately. Yes, I hope that you're going to be enjoying it. I'd love to see you in the chat here tonight. Welcome in, and thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. I'm going to hit you with a very short intermission, sponsored by the incredible folks over at Mojang. They have got some incredible controllers. I have got one here. You saw it very briefly getting used for some admin cam. I'd like to say that I could show you doing my Apex play as well, but I think it's much better left to the professionals that I'm casting over here. But Mojang, thank you very much for the sponsorship, for the support, as always. Heading over to you. And we're back over to myself. We are going to be going into our next game, which I'm looking over here on my other monitor, and the bans have come in. The map has been voted on, and it's going to be E District for game number 2. We're going to be getting bans of Watson, Axel, Alter, and Vantage, which is certainly going to make things interesting because Axel and Alter have been such high-picked legends over the course of yesterday in particular, and obviously in the professional scene as well over on the ALGS. Watson is also going to be a big pick as well because Watson is so good, particularly in places like this where you can put some loads of fences up and lock down a building. So that's definitely going to be a big miss for a lot of those teams, but they do have the core stick, obviously, and some ramparts we might end up seeing as well. But we're going to jump over into this next game over on E-District, and it looks like we have got a full lobby right here. And there are certainly some teams that I'm wanting to keep an eye on. What it does look like is that Jam's team and Bloom Dion are back paired together. So I think they might well be a duo pairing. Likewise, Sosa, M&K, and Erasure looks like they might be a trio. So they are back in this as well. So big to see lots of these teams in a slightly different setup to the normal SQL, where you obviously go in solo and get random teammates. Tonight, you are able to join up with your friends in a duo or trio, depending on the level that you are at in the MMR ranking. So, a big reminder, you might see people playing together a lot. Meanwhile, I can see that Trep has said that I was going in the Amir block, but dad duties have taken over for the rest of the night. Trep, no worries at all. Make sure that you're looking after the little ones, and I hope that you'll enjoy a bit of the live stream and that I can provide you a bit of entertainment here tonight. Shame that it happened also yesterday with the solo league as well. But first ring pull, and it does look like we have got a, if I put that bang in the middle, it's a slightly more northeast. Trying to remember my compass direction. Slightly more northeast quadrant. What I'm going to do is very quickly try to find somebody who's going to hit me a ring beacon. The survey beacon is over the other side. You're not going to be any use to me. Are you going to be used to me? You might well become used to me. Yes, there we go. The Mythical Beast. I knew that you were my favorite core seeker in the lobby. And I'm going to say over here. No, it's actually continuing to go right. So we're going to be getting a Height C end game just beneath Galleria. Potentially pulling actually all the way over towards... Ooh. Okay, so we got touching. It could go height in this area right here, where Team 4 are located. There is a chance it does pull beneath, but I'm going to say Team 4. This is my prediction for the end game. Let me know in the chat what you think. Meanwhile, there is our first fight happening, and it is going to be Team 3 up against Team 19. Fight taking a little bit longer than I initially thought it was going to, as nades are being expended by team number 3. As you can see Skynades coming out, trying to get some damage. They do get a little bit of damage, only 31, however. It's not going to be enough to do a full send. And Zendika is going to have to drop on down and has taken damage himself because of landing on that little storefront side. Zendika now is going to fully heal, hoping his teammates is going to be able to follow on up. Is our Sparrow, and Zendika is now going to make their way up to the top as Openek, a legend that we have seen a lot in the solo queue league previously, is going to swing with the Havoc and is going to do a wonderful amount of damage. Is going to continue to push on forward, but unfortunately falls as a... Not the only person falling. Zendika also falls as well. I was going to say falls as a result of the car, but then I got distracted by what was happening on screen. Shadow, meanwhile, is going to be able to get the revive onto Openek. Zendika is now going to be getting finished by the other team. Wait a minute. Oh, they're getting pushed up upon. Team 2, I was wondering why we've got over to another team, and it's because there is a third party happening. Sosa, though, doesn't realize that it was only the Valkyrie who went up on their own. Thought that maybe the players were all up does get taken down by the surprise player, but for now, they are going to be able to get that revive, and that player is going to be able to get on away. Team 3 have got a respawn beacon, but they do not have the banner, which is always going to be tough. Meanwhile, big fighting happening over here. Team 4, Fadeaway, is hoping that this is not them just fading away back to the lobby menu. They do manage to see a player get knocked, and they might try and get a finish onto this. Instead, popping that reload. As now Champ finishes off that player on the outside, the exterior, but they get caught out themselves, and they're now going to have to hit a Wraith portal to try and back on away and get a revive themselves. Russia Apex, Jurg and Taz are also here in this action, and there are a lot of teams nearby. Team 4 have managed to get themselves back into this. Genesee, Splash, and Fadeaway alive in this underneath section, and now a team is pushing up. The Wraith thankfully hits the Q in just about the right amount of time, but as you can see, a Newcastle is on the other side. The Maggie Q comes on out, and Jurgs gets eliminated. Russia Apex and Taz are hoping that they're going to be able to clutch on up. Sorry, you can still hear a Wraith. That is a lovely little bug that has been happening recently, but thankfully they have now disappeared. As Jurg is going to get Wraith portaled out by Taz, and Taz is going to be able to hit that revive. Meanwhile, Fadeaway, Genesee have been pushed up upon by yet another team. And there we go. The swing round that corner. The Valkyries looking to try and fly away, but they do get cracked in the meanwhile. Caustic. Disgusting spray coming out from Genesee once again. My lord, Genesee, we know that Genesee is a player that can do some unbelievable sprays, unbelievable damage. They have done so much in this solo queue league historically, and they're now going to be hoping alongside Fadeaway and Splash that they can continue that effort in this highly contested area, as unfortunately Fadeaway is taken on down. They were the sole survivor a little bit earlier of the fight, now the first taken on out. As nades and smokes are thrown forward in a hope of stopping any type of push. Another smoke coming on out as Genesee is down to just 20 HP, is hoping that the teammates can follow on up. Splash on the conduit is going to be able to briefly heal on up, but they know that there's a Newcastle here, and so they've got to swing forward and stop this revive from happening, but the Maggie drill is absolute perfection. Splash gets taken down by that Maggie, and it's now a 1 versus 1. Genesee up against Russia Apex. Russia's been doing so well with these Maggie Qs and cleans up the entirety of your team number 4. 6 kills and 2,000 damage already. And I don't think there's anybody... I mean, they're close, but they're not that close. Not like what we're seeing right now with Team 14, who are in a fight right now. Goes up that zip line and gets down the knock onto Bruno. 2 players left remaining. Chekhov and Vagabond Caleb, who are going to be dipping out of this one, looking to get away. Meanwhile, we are going to be seeing this ring. I'm hoping that somebody is going to have hit it. One of you will have, right? Somebody will have hit the ring. So that we can see where this is pulling. There we go. It is pulling, and it's going, I think, to where I thought it might bounce slightly on back now. That is not touching, but we might well now be getting a fight once again between Team 6 and our current kill leader of Russia, Apex & Co. on Team 10. Russia, obviously, the one getting aggro onto this. Gets that first knock, and the car is utterly disgusting for Russia Apex. My lord, I'm personally an R99 fan, but watching Russia play right now is making me want to pick up that car. Team 6 out of this lobby. 8 kills, 2.5k damage already. And Russia Apex is on fire. Almost able to pick up another one. And they're going to be able to continue the aggression forward and the oppression from afar. Meanwhile, big fighting happening over towards Energy Bank Way. Team 8 have got an evac tower down. They don't look like they're going to be hitting it, using it just yet. And actually, there we go. Stream is going to hit it, but unfortunately, these people takes a lot of damage. Is going to need a Lari to hit that Q, to give them that health, to get themselves back up to at least a temporarily healthy position. But unfortunately, Alari gets taken out on the evac tower. Unfortunate for Alari. And Alari is surely going to go on down. Stream Slayer is going to hope that they can get themselves out of this now so that they can potentially get the respawn. Openek, Zendika, and Shadow very happy that they were able to pick up those points. Meanwhile, we are getting a big fight happening. Russia Apex is going to have to clutch on up. It's a 1-for-1 right now. They're looking for the fuse down the bottom. Russia's going to drop down via the zipline and gets detached from this lobby, sent back. Whilst we welcome back Jurgs into this game. Sounds like we might have somebody potentially pushing on up. We do indeed, and it is going to be Team 8, who are not pushed up directly onto them, but they are going to be on that nearby building. They're going to hit the beacon, but unfortunately aren't able to get off it in time. And who else but Russia Apex to get the kill. Thankfully, they do have an Octane who is going to be able to dash on out of there using the jump pad. And they're just now going to be hoping that they can find themselves a beacon or a crafter. Team 2 are going to be back over in Energy Bank. M&K Pony Boy, the winner of your last game alongside Sosa and Erasure, and now potentially going to be falling down outside of your top 10. Sosa hiding in the corner with his lightsaber. Star Wars collab when? Apex Legends. I want a Darth Maul lightsaber, that's all I'm saying. A little double-sided number, that'd be sick. Anyway. For now, Sosa is just going to be hiding. And it's just hoping that none of the team see them. And I think they are going to be able to get away. Now, finally, the player gets eliminated. They're going to be able to get that craft. But unfortunately for them, they don't have a... he didn't... Oh, he did pick up the respawn beacon. Just it didn't appear straight away. Thank God. Meanwhile, Team 1 are going to be getting shot at as they leave Energy Bank themselves. And it's going to be Red Wolf who picks up that knock. A good Maggie Q might well pick up the knock, and they do. BK gets taken on down. The issue is this is a Newcastle team. And the Newcastle jumps on a jump pad as Bloom team on Jamstein. Your third place team from the last game. Now hoping that they can close this fight out, get some more kills. Unfortunately, it does look like Tropical is potentially going to fall, particularly as this is a round 3 closing. I wouldn't be surprised if Tropical is eliminated. They have to go back in and grab the banner. Hopefully they're going to be able to get it in time. This is round 3. This is going to hurt. They grab that banner. Goes back to the jump pad. Was this the right call? Just about. My God, Bloom. That is some risky behavior from yourself. As Jamstein's going to make his way on over towards a respawn beacon. As Openek is now going to be getting taken out by Zendika. By Sosa even. And Sosa is taken down by... My gosh. Zendika takes down Sosa. As Tropical is brought back into the game there. I'm sort of tongue-twisting myself without it being a tongue twister. I'm going to blame the late night over here in the UK. Seen too much of the sun today. If you're in chat, I do want to know. How's your weekend been? As always, let me know if you're enjoying the action. Trep, it's great to see you chatting away. Thank you so much. Team 13 in the best spot. Unfortunately, they were, but they are now eliminated from this lobby. And it's going to continue to pull on over towards this area that I said towards the beginning. As Team 7 have got a caustic, and they are going to be able to get inside of this building and lock it on down. Team 14 are in a good position, but they get caught out because of the hard light walls getting shot through from the zip line. It's an area that I always forget about myself as well, so it's an easy one to do. But thankfully they got a Newcastle, so they're going to be able to get themselves back in. Streamslayer is still a solo, as now teams are starting to get into this lobby. Team 8, as we can see, as that solo is just going to be inside of this building. They've got Team 3 on the exterior. And we can see that he is so close right now. Shadow. They seem to have found the player, potentially. And it's going to be Vagabond Caleb, who is now taken on out. One of our solos eliminated from this lobby. Meanwhile, Milk Dud is going to be fighting. And I can't tell quite which team it is right now that is doing this fighting. But Team 9 have got the height. And has this been a great... This has been a wonderful zone prediction. I thought maybe it might pull out here. But to go towards where these buildings are provides an incredible endgame opportunity. Because everybody basically has got some cover right now as round 5 is in this. 7 squads left remaining inside of this lobby. Using the Hemlocks to just get a little bit more damage. And they're just going to need their caustic. How much more Evo do you need? 361. You do have unlimited ammo, which is nice. But you don't have too much in the way of attachments. Drops the R301 for an R99. And interestingly, it sounds like Team 9 are going to look to try and move on over with this. So the caustic is going to move on over, put some barrels down, while the teammates fly in using the Valkyrie so that they can get the scans and they can find out exactly where everybody is. Unfortunately, Rodri does get taken on out. Rem is put down a caustic gas and has managed to get a knock onto Mythical Beast, but there is going to be a Sparrow ultimate, which is going to do so much damage potentially. But actually, they managed to get the elimination, the destruction onto that Sparrow ultimate. So they're now going to hide behind this shield and potentially will get the revive. Meanwhile, Team 12 are on the interior and fighting is happening on the outside. It's going to be Team 3 up against Team 1. That Sparrow ultimate belonged to Zendika. And somehow Streamslayer is still alive into this. The revive is happening. We go back over to Team 12 on the interior of the building. And they are doing a great job right now to hold this one out. Had to say a huge shout out to that team. I believe they were the ones that were on top of the building. And they're now going on out and trying to get the elimination onto that last solo. So right now, Team 12 have done a great job. Mythical Beast on the caustic, doing God's work. As the Milk Dud is also still here with a Prowler and a Hemlock. Also on the caustic, placing barrels everywhere they can. Meanwhile, Team 3 are pushing on up inside of this building. Openex, Zendika, and Shadow up against Cap, D-Cross, and the Legends. Legends, also with a blue shield, is going to be at a disadvantage. Looking to potentially try and get a little bit of a kidnap, maybe? Or just a bit of a panic, putting it on out and going back down to the bottom floor. Openek was cracked. As shots are getting put out. And it is going to be a Sparrow ultimate that is put down by Zendika. Maggie Q's now going through the walls, and actually a squad wipe comes out there. That is going to be that solo of Streamslayer. Take it on down. Team 12, meanwhile, are going to be making their way on over from the building. And they're going to be getting shots on the team on the other side, which is going to be team number 7. This is Caustic for Caustic on this side of the ring. Team 12 have got a good position right now. However, they are going to have to jump off this height. And Zendika putting down Sparrow ultimates. And here comes the Valkyrie ult. It's a wild play, but actually they could take to the skies right now and find themselves a good spot. If they can put down the Q, they're going to stun the team on the height. They land inside of the Gibraltar ultimate, and it is a great play from the Valkyrie, just down to Red Rum. But Team 3 come away as your champions, and it is going to be Zendika, Openik, and Shadow. They had an unbelievable showing right there. 20 kills between them. My lord, they played out of that building so well, taking down, ultimately actually not even taking down your third place team of Cap, D-Cross, and Legends, leaving it up to the Valkyrie team who landed on top of the height. And my gosh, that was a good end game there. That's why I love a bit of E-Districts and why that particular area of the map can really throw up some quality end games if it goes that way. The latest match results up on your screen right now. Zendika, Openek, and Shadow obviously coming out as your champions, and deservedly so. Your most kills in that lobby ended up actually going to Russia Apex, and Russia was having quite the game of it, but ended up falling in 11th position. That is insane. The fact that they did. Russia Apex did almost 4k damage and 11 kills, but fell outside of the top 10. That's wild. Absolutely wild. But a great showing there coming in from Russia, and obviously coming in from your champions of that game, Zendika, Openek, and Shadow. We're going to have a little look and see what's happening with the overall leaderboard. And it does look like we have merged yesterday's with today's. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that this is a new leaderboard here for tonight, so I will message the team to try and get this updated. But you can see there that Zendika is having a good day and is pushing himself up further into 6th position if there was a merged leaderboard for the weekend. But yeah, that is the end of this one. We can see down in my bottom, this corner right here, 65 people in the queue, which means we are going to be getting into a game very shortly. I hope that you have enjoyed the action over on our first map, which was Storm Point, and obviously then E-Districts. The next one, where we're going to go next, is up to the players. Every single one of these games, over on my left-hand monitor, do get banned and chosen by the players themselves. So this is not done by how many times a legend was played in the previous game. It is all done by the players themselves. They get the opportunity to ban 4 legends and choose which map they go to. So up to the players. We'll have to wait and see where we end up going. I'm going to hit you with a short intermission whilst our next game gets loaded on in. And this is going to be sponsored by the incredible folks over at Shareplay. If you weren't here for the starting screen, you wouldn't have seen what is coming to Shareplay, and that is going to be the Shareplay Bowl. I'm going to hit you with this video, and then I'll be back to talk all about it once I'm back.
Attention creators. On Shareplay, everyone can earn from day one.
Shareplay. 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 Shareplay.
And as you saw right there, the SharePlay Bowl is coming to us very soon. Shareplay.tv/tournament so that you can go sign yourself up. It's going to be coming to both Apex Legends, which obviously you're going to be wanting to play along if you're watching here tonight. But it's also going to be coming to Fortnite as well, which I love to see. I haven't watched a Fortnite tournament properly in a hot minute, and it's going to be great to see Fortnite getting into the mix as well as Apex Legends. Make sure that you're signing up because potentially more opportunities to be casted over by some lovely casters. You never know. As I said yesterday, SharePlay, you know my number. Hit me up for the SharePlay tournament. But we're going to be getting into our next game, which is going to be moving on over towards World's Edge. As I have a quick look to see which legends have been banned, and we've got a Newcastle ban, a Caustic ban, a Crypto ban, and an Octane ban. So for those adrenaline junkies, you're going to be having to find your fix elsewhere, and I have a distinct feeling that fix is going to come from our brand new German legend of Axel. Not be surprised in the slightest. As we start this game, in we go. Eventually. Yeah, let me show you a lovely view of the lovely monument area. There we go. Look at this. Well, I need to probably do it with my controller, make the panning a little bit better. Oh wait, there we go. Slightly smoother with the panning. Anyway, here we go. Into the game we go. I'm getting distracted by the beautiful monument area, and we're going to be getting yesterday's winner, Lotus Nesu, alongside the Keyboard Warrior, and my god, that might be the most scary team that I have seen yet tonight. Lotus Nesu and the Keyboard Warrior. My lord. I also believe that I found out today that the Keyboard Warrior doesn't even play on keyboard, so that is real bait in the name, I do have to say. That may be coming from a bad source, but, you know, it's still still could be true. It could be true. We'll have to wait and see. That is going to be Team 1, who are going to be landing over towards the lovely siphon area. There's no beast to be left, so I think they might well end up pushing over towards these areas, obviously depending where the ring pools. And for the first time I think I've seen, Lotus Nesu is not playing Sparrow. Instead, he's going to be on the Valkyrie, and I think that is going to come into the fact that they're probably just going to be using that Valkyrie to hit that ult, go land on teams, and just get more and more kills. This ring pool has, though, started by going slightly towards the Fragment, Monument, Epicenter area. I mean, it could bounce back down, but I don't think it will. I feel like it is probably going to end up being, just based on this first pull, I am going to go with here. I think it's going to end around about this area of Monument. I don't know why. That's just the vibe I'm going with. Feel free to let me know, though, in the chat what you think it's going to be before I eventually show what that next one is. I don't know why. I just feel like a little bit of a ring pullback is in order. And it could be on the cards. Meanwhile, we have got Heaven of Kane, an absolute goat who's helped sort us out with some codes here this evening after we had a minor technical issue with the code. So big shout out to Kane. Currently sat in 4th position in the Challenger circuit over in EMEA. So Kane and the Hebner boys doing a great job of it. Huge shout out to you guys. However, Will is playing from EMEA, so on these NA servers, they will be having a little bit of a tough time. Thankfully, they do have a lifeline to pick them back up if they come into any trouble. Devotion and a 30-30 repeater is not an ideal loadout, can't lie. Especially on 1x on the 30-30 repeater. But they are now actually going to be getting pushed up by another team. And unfortunately, blinded by Silent. I'll just then, unfortunately, take them down. Not themselves this time. Well, I mean, to be honest, you don't need to. Because Kane will take you down for yourself. There. Mr. Axel. Kane, up on this height. Puts down an Axel Q for the down player, allowing them to get themselves out of trouble. And then I'll swing around the corner themselves as the battery is popped. And so Kane is going to potentially be able to stick the revive onto the lifeline. Does look like, though, they are now going to get pushed up upon as the enemy Axel is back onto their feet. As they go around this corner, they have noted where they are going to be, and Blinded by Silence is once again taken on down, or at least is still down. Never was able to get that revive picked up as a big frag grenade comes out to take away all that shield that has only just been popped by Kane. Kane has got a tough one if they're going to want to take this one any further. Particularly when another Axel is pushing up. But we've already seen that Kane had the better of this Axel in the Axel versus Axel gameplay. And actually might have been able to sneak on away. Brilliantly played. We'll have to wait and see if Team 6 do go out on the key for kill feed. Meanwhile, Team 3 are popping a Valkyrie ultimate to get the scans onto that final solo player. They're going to drop on down. And shooting from a height, unfortunately, that player is going to be eliminated for now. Down goes Hickory. Hickory Thick. My gosh. God, I love Apex names. They are so good. They are so good. Team 16, though. Vagabond Caleb, 1731. I'm very disappointed that doesn't say 1738. You are 7 numbers short, Maggie. Please come back and change the name for the next game. That's all I had to say. Just purely so that I can sing your name. Any other millennials will enjoy that. As I have Fate now. Jumps down from the height. An accidental drop. Not quite realizing that there was the full team at the bottom. 1731. Up on this height now as a conduit comes on through. And they are able to pick up the kills onto team number 4. As team 14 are going to look to potentially pick up the final player onto this team. As KMS is taken on down. 1731 goes down the stairs, and this is a masterclass right now of Maggie gameplay. They are dipping and diving up and down the stairs, really utilizing this area well and the abilities that they have got. There is a Watson down here, though, which is going to stop the push. There is 2 seconds left, and they're going to instantly put that Q down. It is a perfectly placed Q. The 3 versus 1 might end up happening, as unfortunately a third party comes on out, and it is going to be M&K Ponyboy who takes down Have Fate. 2 players left remaining. KMS is back up onto their feet, and it is now just up to you, KMS. Takes a bit of damage. Shield swap, unfortunately, not available to them. And actually using the Axel Q to stop the Gibby from pushing on in. Unfortunately, it's not enough, but it was nice tech nonetheless. As Team 3 pick up those kills. Team 14 out of this lobby. And we look at where this ring is pulling in. Oh my god. I am not washed, folks. I called that ring pull. Absolutely called that one there. Trep, you've not said anything in the chat. But my god, that was... I hope you're impressed by that ring pull. Anyway, we're going back over here. It is, I think, going to pull up towards this little bit of an area where the rock is. That potentially could be the god rock of this game. Oh, no, I take that back. It's bouncing back on up into Fragment. And this is actually going to be a great landing zone for team number 12. The thing is, playing up here this early is not a great play because people can get angles at you from so far around. As you can see, they are able to get shots out onto other team, but unfortunately they will take damage up there. You do have a Watson, which is going to be good. But actually, Team 12 opted instead, even though they've got the ring pull, to drop them down to this building. And I'm not opposed to this play at all, because I mean, I did think it was going to go over here. Yes, we've had a ring pull, but we've had bounce, bounce, bounce. It might well bounce on back over to where Team 12. And with a Watson in tow, you're going to be able to lock down this building better than many of those other ones out here. As Grim gets some shots. Kane is ghosted, and so is blinded. Absolutely, Shrep. Absolutely. And Russia, yes, it did start. Unfortunately, it means that the queue... You'll be in the next game. Don't you worry, though, my friend, I'm sure. Watson pylon goes down, rebuilds all of those windows. And it's not a great Watson placement, I do have to say. You now can't get through one of the doorways there. Not ideal from you. Nonetheless, fighting is happening, and it's going to be Team 3 up on the height, replacing where Team 12 were, as Team 8 are on the low ground. And it's going to be I Need a 1X, Eternal Struggles, and Mr. Minion who have got this height. They are also looking at another team across the way, and it's going to be a fused team of Team 7. As Team 2 are looking to also get aggressive, and they are now pushing up inside of this building where Team 12 are located. We will bounce on back over to the other fight as it happens. As Lotus Nesu does get a pick onto Jomas, and we'll go back on over to where this fight is. Actually, this fight's happening over the other side of it. My god, I am sorry. Keyboard Warrior, Lotus Nesu. I said that they were going to be a danger team. 6 kills already to the Keyboard Warrior of DJ. Stops that Axel ultimate from hitting him. And the Keyboard Warrior is just having a great time on the Axel right now. Ken is also going to be very happy with his duo that he has been given. Currently, 200 damage as Lotus Nesu falls. And it's going to be to the ring. This is Guy Fieri, Hickory Thick, and Hacks. If they can take out this team, it would be a little bit of an upset, as they are now going to be able to stick the res as the Keyboard Warrior goes up onto the height. Has to hit the syringe. They do have overflow, but round 3 is going to be closing in just 1 minute's time. And now there is the opportunity for this team to hold out team number 1. You do, however, have the Valkyrie, though, so they will be able to find themselves a spot in zone, and into the zone they go. We go back on over to team number 3, who have moved on over towards the monument area. As we are now going to be seeing team 1 exiting the area. Unfortunately, Ken does go down to Hickory Thick. And it's just going to be down to Lotus Nesu and Keyboard Warrior. But I would not be surprised if these guys are able to close it out as a duo. They are just that good. Especially when an Axel just absolute feed faces. Hacks. Probably needed some to try and help there against the Keyboard Warrior when they are shooting just that well. Keyboard Warrior swings around that corner. Hickory Thick, the killer of the teammate. And actually, they have been taken on out. 7 kills to the Keyboard Warrior. But it is not going to be enough when you've got killers and Guy Fieri's Pound Town in town. Well, this is just Guy Fieri's Pound Town. That's what it is. And we are in it. Meanwhile, Team 10 are going to be fighting up on the height, or shooting from the height. And they have spotted out the duo now coming in from the east-hand side of the map. Loku. A nice 108 to the head with that longbow. As they have spotted out another team is also here. And it's going to be a Maggie. Thankfully, they've got a Watson, which is going to allow them to obviously shield on up. There's a lot of batteries just currently sat on the floor. As fighting is happening elsewhere. And that is going to be Team 11, who are getting some shots down. 66 damage. As actually it is going to be Team 8, who've pushed up inside of the building. They take down Grim, but they are now out themselves. And Team 12 have got to try and reset quickly, but I don't think it's going to happen. Team 8, who pushed up and got aggressive, have potentially thrown this game for Team 12. They have now got the opportunity, because of all these Watson fences, though, to get the revives and the reset. Mythical Beast sticks Red Rum, as Red Rum is now going to be able to stick Grim, and the reset has happened. Team 12 potentially have cooled this one superbly well. We'll have to wait and see, as Team 2 have just lost down on Aether. A G7 Scout in Bloom's hands, as Bloom and Jamstein as a duo are hoping to avenge their fallen comrade. Team 3 managing to pick up that kill on Aether, and it is a straight 2v2, but a Gibby bubble comes out. A player of Jamstein deciding not to go through that bubble, whereas Bloom Dion has taken the back side of this and is now potentially going to be closed out. A just hyper-aggressive play that was probably unnecessary, particularly when Jamstein had backed off and the communications just were not there for the team. Jamstein is going to have to just try and have to find a rock and get out of here. Meanwhile, Guy Fieri's Pound Town and Co. is picking up kills as Bloom is taken down by the Eternal Struggles. Guy Fieri up on the height. Goes down to the low ground now, but is hit by a Valk tack and is taken on down. Hickory Thick, the last remaining member of this team, gets tickled by a Maggie Q and then finished off by Nightwing's car. Detached Nightwing and Quinsanity with a good amount of KP already. That is going to be 10 for team number 11. And 5 squads left remaining. And an evac tower from them. And it has indeed pulled exactly where I was thinking it was going to go. This building and this area. As Team 3 is flying on around. And they take down the final player of Team 2. Jamstein doing a good job to get themselves to 5th position. But it could have been better. It certainly could have. As now they're going to be able to get the angles out onto the aggressing team number 11. Who are going to have to back on away. And thankfully, they do have a conduit, so we'll be able to quickly reset and heal themselves up. Obviously, we do have that Gibraltar team on the far side. And it's going to be a Gibraltar Maggie team inside of that trailer who took down Bloom. Or Jamstein's teammates of Bloom and Ken. And now, as this ring is about to pull down, Team 3 have actually opted to move them way across, and they get picked off by Mythical Beast of Team 12. Mr. Minion just getting slightly too aggressive onto this. Thankfully, they do have a Gibraltar, and so are going to be able to get sticked. And Team 10 inside of this building. That is going to be Team 3 who actually left the car, moved their way on over towards that hill. And Team 10 have now replaced them in the position that they were once in. But the thing is, they are not inside of the zone right now. So Team 10 are going to have to move on forward. And they are taking a huge amount of punishment from a lot of these teams. It is surely going to come down to an Axel Q going out in front of them. There comes the Axel Q. And they're going to make their way on over towards this rock. They have got a Watson. And I'm sure that Watson pylon will go down shortly. To provide them with some extra cover. The thing is, this Watson pylon is not the best placed. As now we are going to be seeing Detached get taken down in the kill feed. That Watson pylon doing actually a wonderful job of stopping the Gibraltar ultimate as Red Rum. They push out from the building from the first time, and they took such a good spot in this zone. Team 12 might well have thrown this by getting a little bit aggressive, a little bit too keen to take the fight and to get those kills onto the team outside. Meanwhile, 11 with Quinsanity, Nightwing, and Detached are now going to be looking to climb up inside of the building. Detached leading the charge. The teammates following on up. They get one, and it's just one player left remaining this. Quinsanity eliminated from this, and it's now a straight 1 versus 1. Thermites doing a huge amount of damage. They don't have the conduit anymore, and there actually is now just offering up potentially a free win to the Team 3 on the outside. Detached, your final player on the team, gets taken down, and Team 3 right now in a 3 versus 3 up against Team 10. Loki, V1 and Mosi up against Eternal Struggles, Minion, and 1X. And as we can see from the mini-map, it's going to be pulling on out to the outside of the building. So they're all going to have to leave. And it will be who's going to get there first. Team 3 have opted to move first. The Valk has gone into the sky and is going to give them scans as to where that team are. The Valk is now going to have to choose a landing spot. And I was about to say, this is a great landing spot to go. Minion with a wonderful bit of placement right now. The teammates, I don't think the opposite team don't quite realize that there is a player there. And Minion has got the opportunity to potentially do a wonderful amount of damage as team number 10 exit. I assume it's going to come via a Loki Axel Q. And the Loki Axel Q is now going to come on out. And that is going to be Minion, the Manion, who gets up onto the height, takes down 2. And the one player left remaining gets eliminated. Team 3 played that absolutely perfect. And I do have to give a massive shout out there to Mr. Minion. Yes, he's only got 3 kills, the least in the team. But by using that Valkyrie ultimate, they were able to get those scans, make sure that they knew that nobody was outside of the building, land on top of them, and then as soon as they exit, put down so much damage for the teammates to get the kills Brilliantly done there by your first place team, Mr. Minion, Eternal Struggles, and Need a 1x. Brilliant showing from the team. We look at our latest match, loading that one up, and 11 kills to our first place team. 12 kills to our third place team, and of course a 4-kill third place. We're just going to see if this lobby is... I don't want to miss out on it. Now, that is the previous lobby that I was still in. Well done, Ben. Well done. Meanwhile, well done indeed goes to our keyboard warrior with 7 kills. They fell, though, very early. Where is that they ended up falling? 9th position with 10. Detached coming out as your damage leader, doing 3,499 damage, falling in 3rd position. They ended up coming away with 6.5k damage, that 3rd place team. Unbelievable showing from them. Brilliantly done. As we are now going to have a look at the overall leaderboard to see how we're doing. It still looks like we are what it was once was, but we are going to be seeing Lotus Nest and Keyboard Warrior continue their rise on up. And they are playing as a duo, so to see them at the top is unsurprising to say the least. By the way that they are playing super aggressively, getting all those kills. And a massive shout out to those two for taking the lead. We're going to go into a very quick... Actually, before I go into the intermission, we're just going to have a quick look at the character stats for this session. That is the overall stats. For this session, we are seeing Axel, Conduit, and Valkyrie as your top 3 picks thus far. Not surprising that Conduit's up there, being that quick reset ability. Axel up there as well. I mean, we've seen how devastating, particularly players such as Took can be. Yesterday had an unbelievable showing on the Axel. It was an absolute masterclass, in my opinion. Went away with as my MVP of the day. A video of that will be going up shortly. So make sure that you go over to the CCE YouTube channel. Rounding out the top 5 is going to be Wraith and Mad Maggie, which is not surprising, seeing the output that Maggie is able to do and the rotation that Wraith can have, particularly because we have had Ultra and Axel bans. Wraith becomes super important in those, and we've seen actually that they have come away. I think we've already had a Wraith victory here this evening, which doesn't surprise me with how much they are getting played. We get back to myself, and I can see people in the chat there that Trep was away making a sandwich. That's why I didn't comment on the zone. Fair enough, Trep. You'll have to watch the VOD back and see if you would have made the same decision as me. I can see also in the Shareplay chat that Soybean says, I need Ivan to help get some support. If you do need any support, head over to the Discord. The chat is just being spoken by myself. And so I'm not going to be able to help you as well as the team will. So make sure you get into the Discord. Ivan and the moderators will be there to help support you with any needs that you need. So yeah, make sure that you get in there and chat with them. It is just the Discord, CCE Discord. So head on over. There is, I believe, a link to it on cce.gg, our website, and you can get in and get in on the action. It means that you get notified of all the updates to the solo queue. I'm going to hit you with a short intermission whilst we wait for this next game to load. We've just hit our lovely 60-player mark down in the bottom left, which means that our next game will be starting pretty soon. But we'll send you to a quick intermission sponsored by Mojang and their incredible controllers. And we are going to be jumping back into our next game. As you can see, we're back over onto Storm Point. And we're going to have some good players in this one for sure. And there's going to be some good legends that are getting taken out of this one. Axel is your first legend. We've already seen some incredible plays come out from her this evening. Fortunately, the German speedster is not going to be making their way onto Storm Point for this game. Alongside them in the ban list is going to be Mad Maggie, Caustic, and Watson, which means that we might well see a little bit more Rampart and maybe some Catalyst as well. I feel like Rampart is maybe slightly more likely, or we're just not going to see any controller legends, and it's just going to be pretty much just aggressive town. I say that, there are a couple Catalysts actually sneaking their way in here. As you can see, Mythical Beast and RLM. We've seen that both of those players play both Watson and Caustic over the course of tonight, and so it is not surprising to see them move on to Catalyst as a controller legend. Looking at the map here, and we're going to be seeing Barometer is free, as is Coastal Camp. So that's south side of the map. If it pulls down there, teams have got opportunity to find a zone and find some good stuff. I'm going to hit you with some funky admin cam to kick this one off. There we go. Sandjar, Team 20. As we look here at the lovely launch pad surrounding a little pan back for us to enjoy, as that first ring pull has come on out, and it is not going to be going south. We're instead going to be going up towards the north area, and actually a very similar pull to... Wait, no, that's a different map. I was about to say, it's a very similar pull to what we had before, but then I just remembered it was a different map that we had entirely. So this is going to be going up towards this northeast side. We might end up seeing a pull north-north, but Team 18 might not end up seeing that pull because they have already had CLB taken on down. Thankfully, CLB is going to be able to get put back into this. And the Bangalore smoke was probably just placed a touch too early because the Valkyrie Q dispersed the smoke, and now Baal is going to fall by the Keyboard Warrior, and this is an aggressive combination. Keyboard Warrior and Lotus Nesu playing on the Fuse and the Valkyrie, but Keyboard Warrior has taken a huge amount of damage, and now they've got a frag grenade on their head, another one to boot, and the Warrior is eliminated and down on their knees. They're going to be hoping that their rookie teammate, the only one in the lobby, will be able to get them back into this. Tunnel struggles. Was that player with the frag grenades who was able to get the knock onto the Warrior, but unfortunately took damage themselves, courtesy of the Sentinel from Lotus Nesu. Lotus Nesu is looking for this, as thankfully for Team 1, the Warrior's back up onto the feet and is going to be fully healed as well. Sentinel in their hands. Lotus dipping and diving and takes a huge amount of damage there to a shot, maybe from a Sentinel or from a longbow potentially, because they went down quick and fast. They've also found themselves a nice little 3 times as well for that Sentinel, which I personally am a huge fan of. Little 3x on the Sentinel is gorgeous. Although personally, even though I'm a controller player, I do love a 2 to 4 times on a Sentinel. Something about it that it's just lovely. Meanwhile, I'm going to go with the Team 20 fight because there's already knocks on this side, and it's going to be a Mirage in play, and who doesn't love a little bit of a Mirage? The Mirage is invisible, and it's just up to you, Mirage. Mirage dead. We bounce over instead now to the Team 5 fight, as Red Wolf has managed to stay alive for now. Nightwing pushes on up as the J Flurg takes down Red Wolf. Good shots with the triple take, getting used as a shotgun. And Team 17 eliminated. We now go over to the Team 15 versus 14 fight. Team 14 seems to be getting the best of this right now as D-Cross is out. And BK is just going to be zipping away. We go away now to a different fight because that one seems to be over. And it's going to be Team 19 up against Team 9. Red Rum somehow still alive for now. But they have been spotted and it's just 1 HP and a dream. They're trying to make it and do what they can. Thankfully for them, Team 19 have been spotted from behind, however. And so now, the player might well be able to get just about away. Thankfully, it looks like they are, but Tristan goes down, and it's going to be Hickory Thick. A name I never thought that I'd say. But it's what I'm saying right here in the CCE solo queue, and they are going straight onto a Gibraltar team. Who are going to be up on the high, and it's going to be Mosiki. Moski even. Over on the YouTube. He drops on down and a devotion from afar. For V1. Vizix. And I think that Valkyrie is going to be able to get on out of there. The issue is you have got Team 3 who are now here. And Team 3 with Jamstein, Ken, and Bloom are not one that you want to be taking lightly. That is a glorious shot there from Bloom. They're now going to go around this corner, hoping that they can find where that player has gone, because they are so low. Vizex has the Q on out, 1 HP, hoping that nobody comes up around, and they're going to have to hope that their teammates are going to be able to try and clutch this one out. The bubble is put on down so that they can just survive for now. The bubble, though, is not going to last very long, and it's going to be up to this Wraith to try and get this team out. Vizex, unfortunately, is being shot. The movement is just about going to be able to get themselves in. The teammates follow. And I would not be surprised if they do indeed get followed up. Jamstein gets to knock onto Loki. The rest of the teammates follow as well, and it's just 1 HP left on the Gibraltar. Bloom is going to be the one leading the charge. And I think they're going to land on another team. They are indeed, and instantly they back on away. But Genesee is now going to be here. So Boom is going to have to pop the Wraith bubble so that his teammates are going to be able to survive. However, Ken goes on down. Rough there for Ken, who in the last game we saw alongside the Keyboard Warrior and Lotus Nesu. Bloom Dion, though, is going to be the one to take down Fadeaway and is offering Ken a second chance at life, potentially. As Eyes is also taken on out as well. Or taken on low. Lifeline bubble is dropped so that they can get the revive. Grabs the banner and a shield swap. As now they are getting chased. As Bloom is just doing what they can to survive. I like this play to try and jukes them. As now another team are here. And it's going to be Team 4. Oh, that is going to be Team 4 taking down Jamstein. And it is just going to be Bloom left remaining. For some reason, I am still seeing Sanjar and Co. There we go. Highlights. Enable. We're back on this. Fighting is still going on, though, down at the base of the hill. Keyboard Warrior not quite connecting with your little jump with the fuse. That's okay. These things happen. That one does, though. And now with the wingman, Keyboard Warrior. No surprise to us that they are going to continue to push on and get aggressive. 50, the crack onto the conduit. And now they're going to be putting a fuse ultimate out. Not quite as useful as it may have been in the past, where that would have stopped the team from pushing out. They do get a 20 damage. Obviously, with the old fuse, They would have had the opportunity there to put a ring of fire around them and stop anybody moving. Team 20 and Team 16 are now in engagement. It's going to be Quacks, KMS, and Sanjar. And it is just Shadow left remaining. It is really just a bit of hope here for Shadow that they're going to be able to get themselves out of it, particularly when you've got Sanjar chasing on up, and Sanjar is having an absolutely insane game right now. 7 kills already. The Ash ultimate coming on out. And Sanjar, who had a decent day yesterday, is wanting to have a better one. Sanjar, that is a great set of shots. 8 kills, 2 assists. And they're going to be wanting to continue this up against Genesee and Co., who have come in from the height, from the command center, and Ides, who I believe yesterday we saw pretty much solely playing on Revenant, is now going to be on the Lifeline instead. Quacks on Stacks. Takes a huge amount of damage, so needs Sanjar to follow on up. Luckily for Quacks, Sanjar is as we've seen already, a great legend to rely on. And it's going to be wingmans aplenty in this team as KMS does a good amount of damage. Genesee, just a couple HP, and they're going to chase this one down. Of course, KMS is. Goes around that corner. R99 spray, eliminating Team 4 out of this lobby. Genesee, we will see you in the next one, as we are now seeing more teams come on in. Team 12 are the first of them, but unfortunately, Strange Max gets taken on down. The Burnt Peanut. Burnt with 2 T's, no copyright infringement here. Alongside 2 controller players in Strange Max and 2 Raw for You. Doesn't realize that there's somebody right behind them, and it's going to be Sanjar with that wingman. KMS goes through the Wraith portal. Arc Stars are just not going to be enough, particularly when Sanjar is shooting as well as you are. The Burnt Peanut out of this lobby, back down to the wait screen, into the queue for our next game in the solo queue league. And if you want to join the queue yourself, cce.gg is where you need to be. Meanwhile, Team 1 are now going to be pushing up on to team number 8. Merge Tag, Keyboard Warrior, and Lotus Nesu. I have to say, our rookie player of Merge Tag is doing a great job to try and keep up with his 2 teammates. 400 damage already. Merge Tag is doing what they can. And that is what happens when you've got particularly 2 legends who are our highest rank, which is what Keyboard Warrior and Lotus Nesu are. You are going to get paired with somebody who is a little bit lower in the MMR, just to help out with the rankings and making sure that it's as even a game as we can. Obviously, that is the priority for the CCE queue. Making sure that you have good games with people who are evenly matched, teams that are evenly matched. And we hope that you are enjoying the games yourself. But I also hope that you're enjoying Trep. If you are still here, is your sandwich, and I want to know what you had in there if you are still in it. Because I do love a good sandwich myself. As unfortunately, it does look like actually Merge Tag has DC'd from the game. We'll be hoping for the sake of Merge Tag that they will be able to get themselves back into this, but unfortunate for them as Roderick takes down Quacks on Sax. Sanjar beautifully waiting for the player to come on round, and that was a 1 clip and a half coming out from Sanjar. 10 kills, 5 assists, 2k damage. You've got 6 kills over for KMS, and Quacks on Sax has got 4 as well. There is a jump pad here, which might well just about be able to get them into the zone. I don't know if it will. Quacks on Sax is, thankfully though, they've got an Ash, and that is going to be able to get them into the zone. KMS is going to stick the revive. And they are giving themselves another shot at this, as Team 9 are now in a fight in one of the ball sacks. The nuts even. As Mythical Beast is on the height. Dropping down from above is going to be the Valkyrie, and it is going to be enough. Tristan does a great job, but unfortunately, is extremely low, and they have lost one player. And when you've got Ken looking with that scout from afar, you need to be worried as Keyboard Warrior gets taken down, and Team 1 are out of this lobby. As is Team 8 and Guy Fieri's Pound Town. Courtesy of that respawn beacon revive, we are going to have Team 19 back to a full complement of 3. So, Team 3, Team 19. We've also got Team 20 as well as your final teams. And they might not have the best position right now, but by the way that they are playing, I would not put it out of contention for Team number 20 to go away as the champions of this game. KMS now. Looking to get a Sparrow ultimate in, and this is going to do a huge amount of damage to the team on the interior. The teammates are now following up from the bottom. Quacks. Unfortunately, KMS gets eliminated, so Quacks is going to have to swing round onto the Bangalore that took them down, and TikTok Chiron is put on down. Quacks will look to try and get the revive onto KMS, but now you've got Team 3 who are going to push up, but unfortunately Ken goes on down. So now it's a 2 versus 2. The revive is still happening for Quacks, and Quacks has got absolutely put down there by Bloom. Bloom, it is up to you in a 1 versus 1. Up against Sanjar, who is up on the height. Sanjar with the Ash. No shield in play, and the Wraith has backed all the way away, which means actually, by backing it on away, they're going to be able to go up onto this height with the Ash ultimate, stick the revive onto Quacks, and the Wraith might well have given this to them. But I mean, as you can see, 5 HP to Bloom's name. It was really all that they could do, because basically just getting breathed upon at that point was going to gift them the win. Now it is just up to Bloom. Quacks is going to do what they can to chase it, as is Sanjar. As Bloom now drops that bubble, drops the portal, Ken is going to come on through it. Bloom is going to also jump into the portal. Goes back down to where Ken is. And really at this point now, it's not an if they win. It is a when they win. Although that is some glorious shots once again coming in from Bloom. Quacks has got to be careful and has got to wait for Sanjar to come on through to help them out. As Sanjar gets taken on down, and it is just down to Quacks. Yesterday it was Took with Honk in the name. Now we have got Quacks. The aviation battle, and it is not going to be enough. Bloom, Dion, unbelievably closes that one out in a 1 versus 2. Coming in with just 3 KP, and pretty much all of those coming in from that final fight alone. Bloom, Jamstein, and Ken with your win in that one. However, you cannot overlook Sanjar, KMS, and Quacks. 15 kills to Sanjar alone, 26 for the team. It's an unbelievable showing from that roster as we refresh, and you can see just how much they did. My lord, that is utterly insane from the squad. 26 kills, a fully deserved second position, and they should realistically have taken that W, but just misplays coming in from a duo, allowing it to basically be fed into 2 1 versus 1s. Unfortunate for them that they weren't able to close that one out, but fully deserved with how Bloom saw that one through to close out the W and to come away with the win. Sanjar obviously coming away as the most kills and the most damage, and basically it was an absolute top-heavy kill lobby. One team was 26. You got nobody else in double figures. One team with 9 being Gnosis Nesu at Keyboard Warrior, and of course the with Merge as well. But then everybody else, nobody above 5. insane to see. Overall leaderboard as it currently stands, Keeper Warrior, Lotus Nesu continuing that positioning at the top place. Obviously, they are playing together, which means that they are going to hold that spot together. Keeper Warrior obviously coming out with in the top space, I believe, on the with the amount of kills that they have now got. 64 kills tonight alone is just my god. Sanjar, though, with that performance, has now shot themselves all the way up into third position. And I saw Sanjar in Took's chat a little bit earlier, Took TTV, who came away with second position, I believe it was yesterday. And Took, who had a great day. Actually, didn't come away with second place yesterday. I'd take that back. I think they were in the top 20, though. But Took and Sanjar, well, they were talking about how today they're going to earn some money. They are going to get into that placement. And right now, $50, $35 a piece. It's going to be a challenge to catch up with Lotus and Keeper Warrior, but there is still a chance. There always is in the solo queue league. You can never write yourself out. Also, Bloom, Dion, now up into 10th position with that first place level with Jamstein, because they are playing together as a duo. So a shout out to the two of them now pushing themselves into the top 10. As we go back to myself, and I want to know how you are feeling in the chat. I hope you're enjoying the stream here this evening. It is obviously it's slightly different to the solo queue league where people are able to duo queue, trio queue. If you're enjoying it, please let us know, whether that be enjoying it as you're watching or enjoying it as you're playing. Being able to play with your friends is always quite nice, and potentially gets it a little bit more competitive, especially as we get more teams of players in. Also, if you're enjoying it, tell your friends, not just to queue up with yourself, but also to get involved. CCE.gg is where you need to be. Where you also need to be as well is Shareplay and their Shareplay Bowl. It's going to be a massive tournament. Apex Legends, Fortnite, you want to be there. This is what it's all about.
Shareplay. 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 Shareplay.
Start co-streaming on Shareplay. First, navigate to the top right of the page and click the co-streaming icon. Then select Start Co-Stream. This will open the co-stream modal where you can search for friends using their play tag. You can invite up to 4 users to join your co-stream. Next, customize your stream by selecting colors, or simply use the preset options. Once you've sent your invites, click Start Co-Stream. As your friends accept, you'll see them join you live. You can swap participants at any time to make them the primary focus on screen. And no matter where viewers are watching from, chat stays unified and synchronized across all communities. Streaming just got more collaborative and a whole lot better on Shareplay. Start co-streaming today. And if you run into any issues, reach out to customer support.
Shareplay.
To the Shareplay Marketplace. To get started, navigate to Marketplace from the top menu or the left side navigation. Here, you'll find a variety of items available to unlock and purchase. You can select individual items or add multiple items to your cart and check out all at once. Once your purchase is complete, your items will automatically be saved in My Collections, located in your vault. Inside your vault, you can view and manage everything you've collected. Items from your collection can be used across Shareplay. For example, you can customize your profile decorations, badges, and other visual elements from the settings page to stand out in the community. You can also use your XP points to redeem items in the marketplace. Some items can be unlocked at full XP value, while others may be available at discounted XP rates. And this is just the beginning. New items, collections, and seasonal packs will continue to be added to the marketplace. If you run into any issues, visit the Help Center or contact support for assistance. Head to the Shareplay Marketplace today and start building your collection. How to add play coins to your wallet. First, log into your Shareplay account. Next, navigate to the play coin icon in the upper right corner. Click on the Add Play Coins button. Choose how many play coins you want to purchase. Fill out your payment details and complete your play coin purchase. Your new play coin balance will be in your wallet. Use play coins to shout out your favorite streamer by gifting a super play and stand out in chat. Add as many play coins to your wallet as needed. Connect with others.
And we are back, folks, with what will be our final game on stream. And I am excited for this one because we're going to Olympus, baby. Not the map that I was anticipating to see here tonight, but we are indeed seeing some wonderful Olympus gameplay. Yesterday, the keyboard warrior went nuclear on Olympus with, I believe it was like an 18 kill W. It's almost 6k damage they got on it. It was wild to see. So whether we're going to be able to see that again, we'll have to wait and see. On this one, though, we are not going to have any Axel once again. We're also not going to have a Gibraltar, which is going to be big on Olympus. We're also going to have no crypto and caustic as well. So, no stinky gas, man. No bubbles of protection. Nobody sitting on an iPad. And then nobody zipping around. Or at least sliding around. Because you're still going to have the Octane who can jump around everywhere. And of course, Pathfinder who can literally zip you. But we look at the map and it is going to be a pull down towards Phase Drive away. Which I am very much a fan of. I think this could potentially be a fun end game for sure. There are obviously a lot of buildings around this area. It also could pull elsewhere as Team 20 are already getting into a fight. And it's going to be Sanjar who could have closed it out in the last game. Ended up not being able to do so. And there is a advantage on the height. Young Plague needs to be careful. Young Plague, not really sure what's going on right now. Young Plague is not able to find the player. There they are. And Young Plague does go down. It's just down to Sanjar left remaining on the Maggie. Is now going to have to back on away due to the amount of nades that are being put on out. Ramping up that rampage. However, Young Plague is going to be able to get back up onto their feet. And potentially we're also going to have Arslad as well. However, they're already here, and that revive has got to stop. Sanjar goes up onto the height, but it is not going to be enough. That charged up rampage, unfortunately, not quite enough as Bloom, Shangos, and VG end up coming away as the winners of that fight. Team 8 getting your first kills on the leaderboard, as we are now also seeing fights happening over towards the medic area. Ides backing on away. You can see there with the scans through walls that they're coming around this corner. Ides, though, is not able to get the lifeline drone off in time. And to be honest, it really wouldn't have mattered anyway because they were well and truly dead. They're going to be landing safe as we're now going to be seeing big fighting going down with team number 8. Off the back of their first kills, they've already got 3. And now Sky Nades are coming on out as Bloom gets taken down. Shankshow takes to the sky. Unfortunately, has only got blue perks and so isn't going to be able to get up very quickly. So takes a huge amount of damage as they fall. VG voicing inside of this building. Can hear players pushing on up, and now with that vantage, they're going to just hope that they can get themselves away. I think they hopefully will be able to, as we are going to be, for the first time tonight, seeing Took TTV. Not on the Axle, instead going to be rocking that Pathfinder. And we'll be hoping that they are able to zip their team to victory. Sounds like they've spotted somebody. Not sure where they are at this moment. There they are. It's now been spotted. Took. Little bit of damage. Going up that zip line. And looking for this remaining player. But it is going to be VG voicing on the vantage. Who is going to be able to queue away. Gets a good amount of distance with this. And now they can look with the vantage ultimate. Shankshow, though, has been spotted out. And is now going to be getting aggressed upon by Took. Tuki taken on down with the R99 as Lotus Nesu is also getting kills. And this is getting aggressive in this fight. M&K Ponyboy is going to Conduit Q it and Conduit ult it to try and stop any push. And you can see that the Conduit ult is doing a great job of stopping any pushes. Big shout out as well to Rax and STX for the follows over on Shareplay. You absolute legends. As Team 7 have managed to get out with the Alter Ultimate and the Alter Qs. It's just Erasure left remaining, who also just about hits it in time, so they are going to be safe for now. Meanwhile, Team 5 gets cleaned up by Team number 3 as Need1X and Eternal Struggles do a great job, and they now see another team coming on in. Team 13, though, have seen them and have heard them. And there's a player right in front of you. Deadler manages to just about survive. And Javo thankfully closes it out for him. before they fall. More fighting still happening on the interior of this area. Unfortunately, Tristan does get put down on the floor. And it is going to be to Team 16 who swing around this corner and get the finish onto Tristan. And now there's another team here. This is insane. No way you're going to hit an evac tower. I'm guessing you're using it just for a little bit of smoke or something. Because you're not using that evac tower. Surely. Surely not. Gets kidnapped by the altar. And now is going to put some thermites down to try and stop any pushes. At the moment, it is just... I mean, they're going to hit it. They're hitting this evac tower. It was, yeah, exactly what I anticipated there. But I do appreciate the effort there from Zozo. Team 7. Taking a lot of damage. M&K Ponyboy, though, and Erasure have managed to take down 12k hours for what? And for what indeed? As you are down on your knees, and it's going to be Mirage. El Atomico does an incredible job with that ultimate to completely bamboozle the team. Erasure hits their Q on the Vantage. And they are now going to be able to get a finish and hopefully a shield swap onto this player. Overflow in the back pocket. Erasure is going to be able to heal themselves on up. Picks up a few things. As Sosa is currently sat inside of the zone. Team 14 eliminating 16 as El Atomica is out for the count. We look back at the map as to where fights are happening, and Team 13... Team 12 are right next to each other, as are team number 2. And it's going to be Took and Co. who are pushing on up. Merchtap shooting from afar. As Took is now going to have a zip line set up so that he can very quickly get away. And a Valk ultimate coming on out. The Havoc getting a good crack, but it is not going to be quite enough. The 2 to 4 times on the Havoc. It's not going to be as accurate as Took would have liked. As they're now going to be in a straight 3 versus 3. 2K gets the knock onto more Misery. Certainly putting down Misery onto this team. Swings around that corner, and 2K, you are an absolute demon. With that R99, we saw it yesterday. We're seeing it again today. And now he's got a gold devotion with unlimited ammunition. Spraying. There's no praying right there when 2K is in that flow state. Team 13. Unlucky for you, out of this lobby before 10th position, and we're going to look at where this ring is pulling. So currently, Team 7 are just going to be rotating away even further into zone. Looks like they're going to try and maybe hit Rift and head their way all the way on down towards this area where Team 14 are currently residing. Team 12 are making their way in from the westerly side of the zone. They will also end up potentially on a lovely little red bin as well, as Team 3 have now seen somebody just up ahead of them. And Ken, one of our lowest ranked players in this lobby, unfortunately gets eliminated by a slight misplay on the Octane pad. Unfortunate for you there, Ken. Eternal Struggles is certainly going to be struggling. As now Team 4, Quacks on Sacks, KMS, spot out. Eternal Struggles. Down they fall as Reaper is now on down. They've seen the final player on the height of that banner. As Reaper, your lifeline, the legend that you definitely don't want down, is going to be asking for a revive. Quacks is getting aggressive. Is going to push on up. 40 damage. Another 40 damage. But I think that will probably be just about enough for need a 1x to get away. Quacks is going to be hunting it, but for now they are going to be okay. The issue is you've got Team 12 landing on you, and this is Team 12. As I say, Need a 1x is somehow surviving right now. Dipping Diving has got the overflow. Goes behind this little bit of cover. And Need a 1x is just about surviving. Is doing a wonderful job of this. Rocking that lovely Gundam skin. And they're in the sky, and they actually do get up onto the ship. A little bit of a different POV there. I hope you enjoyed that one. As Team 4 swinging around this corner. Quacks taking down Grim. And the duck pond right now is not a place you want to be. Quacks on sacks, putting down bodies, and Team 12 eliminated from this lobby via KMS. Quacks is going to hit the revive, as KMS is going to just about get themselves into cover. We look at where this zone is, and we're going to have Team 19 looking over everybody right now. The issue is that they have got blue shields, which is not ideal for them. Especially when you've got a Vantage looking at you from afar. And we're actually going to have Took, who's going to swing up with the Pathfinder zipline. And that gold devotion is going to do so much damage. And I mentioned the blue shields, and this is the issue that you've got. Especially when Took, with that R99 and the devotion, grapples on to your head and takes you on down. 2K with 13 kills so far. 3,000 damage. At the moment, it is going to be Quacks on sacks versus 2K for the kill leader spot. At the moment, it is most certainly going to be 2K, and they have now dropped the R99 in favor of a L-Star. They've seen a player up cross, and 2K is going to keep on moving forward. Currently sat in 4th position. This game alone will have pushed them up further potentially. Oh my god, and with shots like that, it is no surprise as to why 2K is your kill leader. I put them as my MVP yesterday, and they are showing why they should be MVP tonight as well. They've spotted players from afar, and there is a Kraber in play. It's going to be Chicky Nuggy. Chicken Nugget gets up onto the height. Not quite hitting that first shot. Unlimited ammo in this Kraber, though. And it is a straight 3 versus 3. I've just realized Ken, Eternal struggles and need a 1x. 2K with the devotion from afar, and they get the knock onto 1x. The grapple pushing on up. A revive is happening. But what? Down goes 1. Down goes 2. 2K does fall, and Chicken Nugget closes it on up. I said it was a duck pond earlier. It ends up being McDonald's. Put that in your bag. Take it away. Enjoy it. Because you have just absolutely decimated this lobby, 2K. With 16 kills. Chicken Nugget, I mean, I'd like to say close behind, but you have certainly done your part with 5 kills. And Merge Tag coming along for the ride into that drive-through and back home with a McFlurry and a very happy face and 21 kills and a first place. My God, you have absolutely destroyed that lobby. My Lord. I'm so glad I got to see you again tonight, Tuki. You did so good yesterday, and you've done it once again tonight. Our latest match results up on the screen for you right now show you exactly how it looks. 21 kills. Quacks on Sacks and Co. did a great job themselves, though, with 19 kills. 6.2k damage, but they fell in 5th position, which is going to hurt them in the overall leaderboard, which we are going to go to now. And 2K has pushed himself into that 3rd place position. Now only 45 points behind Lotus Nesu and the Keyboard Warrior. We've got a battle on our hands here for 1st place, that is for sure. But unfortunately, that is going to be all she wrote for the stream here tonight. Thank you so much to everybody who has joined, whether you've been in the Twitch chat or, of course, the incredible folks at Shareplay. You can see them scrolling down beneath. You've seen their adverts. Make sure that you go over to the shareplay.tv/tournaments so that you can sign up to the Shareplay Bowl, because we want you there, whether you're playing Apex or you're playing Fortnite. I want to see it, and I want to cast over it as well, because we will be there. Myself, Mark, Scott, and the whole CCE team, thank you so much for being here on the stream. Give us a follow on all our platforms. The VOD from tonight will be out very soon on the YouTube channel. So you want to make sure that you head over there and you can catch all the highlights, especially if you're playing and you've not been able to see the wonderful stream and all the highlights that we've managed to clip of yourself. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for our incredible sponsors down below. And until next time, my name has been Ben V, your host for tonight. I will see you next week. Thank you, folks.